Well, good morning, you bitches. Again, I'm back from the food bank, and it was a good time. I always have a good time at the food bank, guys. Okay? I'm very grateful for everything that I get. Heads. I got the rich people ice cream. Woo, 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 woo. Anyways, I'm coming on because I want to talk self-defense with the ladies, with the kids. Okay? Everyone should know how to defend themselves, right? We should probably get back to stuff like that in school, right? We have to correct all of this perverted shit. And if you haven't seen the breaking fucking news, check out the Michelle Ferrari post I just shared about how Carney wants to prologue, whatever the fuck, Parliament. Prologue. Trudeau did the same thing. Shut down government. And then Trump got it. And then we got an election. If it wasn't for Trump, we wouldn't have got that election, though it was rigged. And it was quite apparent it was rigged in Peterborough. Okay? So I moved, before I get into the self-defense stuff, I've been talking about self-defense and I remember in high school having a self-defense instructor come into our grade 11 phys ed. You know, and then when did they stop doing that? We had it for 2 days. It was really good. But now school's teaching you all this sick shit in sandbox, sex in the sandbox. So, back to basics at school. And then back to basic common sense. My coffee pot's going. Back to common sense. You protect yourself and the people around you at the end of the day. And I got to get back to reading the Bible, because soon I won't be able to read that book, right? So I got to get back to it, but it was quite clear in the first part of Genesis I read that you protect the people you love. So I'm going to talk about self-defense because I have been in crazy situations, life or death. I knew a sort of restraint hold that falls in the family of jiu-jitsu, okay? It's a martial arts of sort, which the school board needs to pitter-patter, change your holds, okay? I've told the school board their holds are shit, and I used my voice when they fucked me over the year after I worked. The next year told me they couldn't modify me. So I went in and advocated. Canada is dead, aren't we? Aren't we? So, basically, that's why I'm coming on here. Canada is dead. Thank you, Sylvester. Back to where I'm going with this, because we have PERVERT running the show. Carney has been on the islands 69 fucking times. I don't give a fuck about Pierre Poilievre. Maybe he's going to end up being a corrupt fuck, but I'd sooner a corrupt fuck than a perverted fuck. And if we're looking at the scar, Carney is 69 times on the island. Okay? 69. Devil numbers, right? Pierre Poilievre, 0. So in this ball game, less is more, right? Or however, you know what I'm saying? It's backwards. In this ball game, the less, the better, right? Fuck. We go with the program, guys. So, while we have these perverts running us, And I don't listen to fucking perverts. So I'm going to tell you women and you kids how to defend yourselves. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Men have strength on us. Right? Whether you're a child who we need to protect, a woman who is weaker than a man, but you don't have to be, bitches. That's where I come in. I'm going to teach you how to be the strongest motherfuckers you can in Trudeau and Carney's pervert land criminal terrorist fucking freak show. And I'm going to tell you how I felt I kept myself safe when I was at the motel, okay? But before I get into that, I put over right there, I had that Elvis thing, which my aunt had given that Elvis plate to me years ago, like when I was a kid. But it's been behind this protesting signs. But I brought out the Elvis Presley picture because I've been walking her past it in my living room. And don't he look like Trump, bitches? We could only hope that Donald Trump is Elvis Presley. Jesus Christ, please, I hope to God that Elvis is alive and he's Trump. That's our only fucking hope, guys. Anyways, one can only hope, but in the meantime, I want to keep you guys safe. And if I think of something, there may be different parts to this. So, you need to start, because it's not happening in school, the school's grooming your kid to change their genitals in the sandbox, right? And they're allowing little Johnny to go into little Jessica's washroom if little Johnny feels like he's little Jessica one day. Think about that. Think about that. You got a grade 1 in there with a little Johnny Jessica doesn't know who he is today. Defenseless. You need to talk to your kids every day after school. Kids are sexualized these days more than ever before. Kids have been abused and no one knows it, right? So, groomed by someone, because we've allowed all this sick pervert shit going on. It's getting worse, right? It's not getting better, right? So this is how I want you all to think about keeping yourself safe. So I was talking to somebody about this today and how I am aware of my surroundings. And I had to be aware of my surroundings working with kids, youth, teenagers with aggression. I had to be aware constantly of my environment. Body language is key, right? I'm happy right now. You know what I'm like. I wasn't put on this earth to suck Mark Carney's dick, right? There's a difference. Right? You know, that fuck crazy coming at me, right? Ooh. Right? Somebody just like, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, oh, yeah, it was a great day, bro, yeah. Body language. Environment, body language. Stay the fuck off your phone when you're in public. You're down like this, you know, you're going to be a victim. Someone's like, oh, that bitch not even paying attention. Oh, that kid, oh, yeah, they're on their phone, not paying attention. Aware of your fucking surroundings and the people around you and their demeanor. Okay? It's not fucking rocket science. But you have to be always thinking ahead. Okay? So, I like wrestling. I like boxing. Fuck, you know? So, now, I didn't realize that in the beginning my restraint holds were some sort of martial arts, but they are effective, right? So, I feel safe if I was to come across a situation where lethal force isn't necessary. But if I have to match what's coming at me, you guys need to think how I think, okay? First off, before I get into the objects you could use, think about when you're by yourself. One time I was out in the woods on a four-wheeling trip, and one of the machines broke down, and we needed something. So our male friend headed back, and me and my female friend were in the woods. And like, this trail would take you fucking 10 towns over, you know? You don't know who you're going to come across. So whether it was because John Walsh taught me to fucking be aware of perverts, right? And bad people, you know, working in the group home, I knew adults could do some sick shit, okay? I've been in crisis situations, so I won WWF tickets as a fucking 10-year-old, and I'm pretty sure narrowly escaped getting molested backstage. Watch my YouTube video. Like, I've just, you know, zipped by all this crazy shit somehow. So I know there's sick people out there, right? Anyways, my friend and I are out in the woods. We were chit-chatting. I'm collecting rocks, sticks. I got a pile going. I'm just, you know, we're smoking our cigarette, and, you know, just, how long is this going to take, right? We had to wait a little while, so I'm gathering all this shit. She says to me, "What are you doing that for?" And I said, "We're in the middle of the woods, and we don't know who's going to come through here. I want to be prepared in case we have to outdo some sick, twisted fuck in the woods," right? I didn't say it like that. I'm paraphrasing here. And she was like, "Okay." When my male friend got back, he was like, "I fucking love you." You know what I mean? Like, props, brother. I'm like, fucking right, man. You know, I got your woman. Don't you worry. I got your woman. And he was like, "Yeah, man." So we carried on. Another time, I was out in the woods and wasn't able to lock the door. And my friend had a young child with us. So I ain't no fucking fool, bitches. So the child at the time now is a teenager. And that was my main thing, was protecting the child, right? So that's instinct. I don't even have kids, but I've raised about 300 kids. Again, don't I look good for fucking raising 300 kids? Kids that were in care of the CAS. Anyways, I gotta take a sip. We go to bed. And I was on a bunk. And they were in the bed. And so I said, "Here's your knife. We're going to keep this here on your countertop. And I'm going to have these scissors and knife under my pillow, okay? So if son of a bitch comes through the door, I got them before they get to you." Maternal instinct, even if you don't have kids, right? Back in the day, if anyone had a fight, I've been in aggressive situations where I've just had to use my mouth in public, okay? And I use my mouth enough. People that threaten me, physical harm, I used my mouth and scared them the fuck away, just with my mouth. Back, a fight in Canada used to just be your fucking hands, maybe your fucking feet, right? if the son of a bitch was dirty, right? Dirty fighter. I've never been in, like, a fist fight. Like, well, I gotta maybe think about that, but no, I haven't. I've been in some really escalated situations, such as being at the motel, which I have, but I'm able to de-escalate shit, okay? Because that's just me, right? I'm like, ooh, like I said, you can see when crazy's coming at you, right? And you just know, right? You just know if somebody's going to, it's the look in the eye, right? People can be mad and not feel threatened, right? But if you're a stranger and we don't know who the fuck you are, like, if I had somebody I knew come up to me yelling, then I'd fucking take my licks, right? If somebody I knew came up and hauled off and punched me, well, you get it back, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna, like, this is a fight till the death. I'm talking when the person is unknown to you, right? Like, your life is in danger. The gut instinct is real. The gut instinct is real. So I've never had to be in a fight, though I have used my mouth. And I could get into all that stuff another time. But you keep yourself and the people you love safe. Bottom line. The other thing that is quite useful, okay, first, escalated situation. I was always like this. Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying. Yes. Oh, man. Get your fucking hair back. Okay? I saw an escalated situation last summer, and I was from afar, and I was like, ooh, that looks tense over there. So I was just minding my fucking business, but getting my hair tied back. And you would want to do that faster, but I want to look good, right? And remember, don't forget I got my jailhouse rock cut. Remember, I'm going to go to jail for talking in fucking Canada. Especially if Mark Carney prologues whatever the fuck government. And that Lori Idolot from Iqaluit that crossed the floor. I just found this out and I did Google it for myself. The NDPer who crossed the floor to become a liberal to almost make this government a fucking majority, okay? Her son has charges of child pornography, guys. We're being run by the fucking devil. Anyways, I'm gonna put my hair down. Tie your hair back, bitches. It's Canada, you know. Perverts are coddled. There's no sex registry because Davin Garg, the Ontario judge, said it was unconstitutional for a pervert's name to be released. Well, I tried to call that guy and you can't get a hold of him. Anyways, back to self-defense, because we coddle criminals, perverts, and terrorists, and we just, come on in, you know, it's Canada, you know, come on in. Come on in. Oh, you're going to, you almost caught my next trick. Back to the self-defense, okay? We need to lock up born Canadian pricks. White, gay, woman, black, indigenous, whatever pervert your flavor, you need to be in jail. You pervert, criminal, Canadian you. But if you're in Canada illegally, you criminal, terrorist, son of a bitch, you're on the next flight out of here. But until we get order back in Canada, we need to get safe women and kids. Things around you. Well, when I was living at the motel, I'm going to tell you about some of my objects that were just on my person, right? So, your keys. Your keys. And just so all you hawks know, I still got that shit emoji. Did I do that right? Yeah. You know who you are. Anyways. Your keys are a great fucking weapon. Not just to put in between your fucking fingers to whack a bitch, right? Any key'll do. Stick that between your fucking fingers, bitches. Kids. And it's great for sounds. Hear that? Panic. Keys are awesome. Walk. I had it all ready. You just walk with your keys in your fucking hand, guys. You're in a parking lot, pow. Go for the nuts. And go for the fucking eyes. Roseanne Barr, on her sitcom, remember when her and Jackie, before Laurie Metcalf fucked Roseanne over? They were at self-defense. And I was taught too. The best thing to do. Now, the thing is, we got so many sick sons of bitches out there, and we got fucking Doug Ford saying, get the pepper and bear spray. Well, I agree with you. If we didn't have to use it just to go in for a bag of fucking milk, Dougie. Bear spray at home is great, right? We shouldn't need bear spray in public, right? Fucking idiots. Leave your keys at the door so the fucking new criminals to Canada and the born Canadians can just sit there, grab your keys and fucking go. Some fucking advice. The other thing to do to keep yourself safe. And I kept all this stuff on my nightstand at the motel. It was right at my bedside table, along with a knife, okay? I had all the options, okay, when it was go time. But my biggest thing was the keys, right? Because panic, right? Think about that, women, kids. Anyway, right? So, the other thing, you go for the eyes, right? The throat punch, yes, yes. Headbutt. I was told by a really good male friend of mine who served. Headbutt. Okay? So, the other thing a friend of mine taught me was, it's so simple, guys. And I did this at the motel. And my motel manager fucking loved this. Who was a friend of mine. Childhood friend. Anyways. Your belt, guys. You're just like, whip it off. I can't do it. I'm going to break my fucking coffee pot. But your belt could do a lot of fucking damage, bitches. Right? So, anyways, those are a few tips right there. And there were times at the motel I go down to visit the motel manager. we're going to smoke a joint and talk about the good old days, and 10 o'clock, some shady fuck pulls in. Well, I wasn't going to get out of my pajamas to go down and smoke a joint, right? So I just took my belt with me. I had a little fanny pack, actually, that I had, and I just put my belt in it. We're sitting out there shooting the shit and smoking doobies. And it was always the Cadillacs, the nice cars you had to worry about the most, okay? So, belt sitting right there. You son of a bitch. There was a couple of times I thought I was going to have to fucking use it, but Buddy hit the road, Jack. I think he knew between our vibes, because she's got a worse mouth than me, believe it or not. And she's the boss, but when she wasn't there, I was, okay? So, those are a few tips. And my uncle passed away a month before my other aunt that passed away. I've had 2 losses in back to back within a month. I'm not going to cry though. But I haven't talked about my uncle that passed away. And he gave me this. I used to hang out with him all the time. But he lived out of town, so we would, go camping and stuff. Cue ball in a sock, yep. Something in a sock, right? Good job, Debbie. Donna, yeah, these girls know how to fight. Cara, all parties are corrupt. We just need an entirely new government at this point. Yeah, we need to form communities, parents, communities again, like the church. Go to your church, go to your legions. I'm thinking about joining my legion because my aunt served her legion. The one I went to her service. So those are some good community builders, right? Yeah, thanks, Debbie. Anyways, my uncle passed away, but he gave me this back. Fuck, I was probably in my early 20s. He knew I was driving a lot. And he said, I want you to have this. You keep this in your vehicle at all times. This isn't illegal to walk around with because it's not an open knife. But boy, she could really serve some purposes, right? You don't have a knife. You don't have your keys. I've actually been whittling away at this wood. I'm going to start doing some whittling on my downtime. So I've done, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just using this tool. So it's got a little sander on it too. It's got this. Now it's big, right? Like, I'm not going to walk around with it. I got my keys too I could use, right? So, and look around. When I used to go biking, I haven't biked much anyways, but if you got to really watch your surroundings. If you're out exercising by yourself, especially down the back roads, I'd be watching yourselves. Look for where you're going to get away, where you're going to run to, where your closest house is. And it's just if you're walking down the road even, right? I'm walking, I'm like, oh, there's a stick right there. There's a gap in the opening, right, of the fence there, right? My mind's always thinking about my surroundings. Have eyes in the back of your head. Dennis, are you from America? I kind of went over my comments from this morning, and I'm sorry to everybody that made comments. Are you from America, Dennis? Anyways. Yeah, so I got the bark off it this way. So, that's good, right? I've had to use these pliers to tweak a few things. Okay? Now this screwdriver, corkscrew, come in handy, but it's too hard to pull out right now. Yes, Dennis, you're from America. Do you mind telling me whereabouts? What I might know or close to? On one of your videos, I thought, he sounds like he's got one of those American accents. Yes, I am from America. Whereabouts so? Are you like Western, Eastern, Midwest? You don't have to say whereabouts. Anyways, you don't even have to say. I'm prying. I'm prying. So I've been using this tool here, which has come in really handy to get it off. And I've just been fucking around with this. I don't even know what I'm doing. I've been waiting for the snow to come off to figure what else I could whittle, right? Twiddle, twiddle. Anyways, that's how you keep yourself safe, bitches. Be aware of your surroundings. Anyways, I gotta go. I got back from the food bank. And I got the rich people ice cream for dinner tonight. Like, how fucking lucky am I? How fucking lucky am I? I don't know if you're saying something, Dennis. Anyways, I will talk to you later. I'm going to do a little bit of housework and then see if anybody's emailed me. Nobody has called me, but we'll see if anybody has drumstick. Pennsylvania! You guys were the swing state. I can't really see all your comments, but I'm going to look at that. And, yeah, thank you all for watching. And Dennis, thank you for watching and spreading this in America, okay? Because it's really important that people see how fucking censored we are. Oh, but before I go, do you guys know Lauren Fenmore off The Young and the Restless? Tracy Bergman? Okay, I shared her video celebrating Eric Braeden, Victor Newman's 45 years on the YNR. And I shared it, and by God, this content isn't available in Canada, son of a bitch. Anyways, Dennis, please, let the Americans know that we're fucked in Canada, okay? Anyways, talk to you later. Bye!